ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। Chapter 17, At Dakshineswara. We are beginning new chapter. At Dakshineswara, Part 1. Tuesday, December 18, 1883. Sri Ramakrishna was seated in his room with his devotees. He spoke highly of Devendranath Tagore's love of God and renunciation. And then he said, pointing to Rakhal and other young devotees, Devendra is a good man, but blessed indeed are those young aspirants who, like Shukadeva, practice renunciation from their very boyhood and think of God day and night without being involved in worldly life. Sri Ramakrishna is differentiating between the normal way of living a decent householder's life of dharmic jivana, a righteous life of love, dedication and sacrifice. This is what makes Sri Ramakrishna to appreciate Devendranath Tagore. He spoke highly of him, but compared to others, a few who are selected by the divine or by the process of evolution of their own existence, they have come to the stage where they can grasp the spiritual truths from nature and their own sadhana and give it to others and stand as an example for others to follow. The path is very difficult and somebody must be there always to show the path and be an example so that others can follow them. So Sri Ramakrishna differentiates, the renunciates a few rarely available who are ready to renounce the world. In householder's life, there is sacrifice which takes them along the path of evolution. In case of sannyasis, it is renunciation. The path is avoiding the world and worldly life and going through a very difficult path. It is indeed because the natural forces working on the human system, especially the nature's laws, those are nature's laws. Self-preservation and preservation of species, two important principles on which the universe is moving. And inevitably, it is imposed upon humans because humans alone have the right of action. But they are bound by the reaction also, having given the freedom to act. The nature has provided to be responsible for what you are doing. So there is karmic load. They acquire tendencies and karma. So here in the path of renunciation, he gives up all the enjoyments of the world. It is to walk against the current. it is not only up the hill climbing, both householders also have to climb the hill, and these people also has to climb the hill. Climbing is common, but there the flow is, they fall in the flow and they have to oppose in a different way, being protected like living in a fort. And here they have to go against the current and not along the current. They have to fight against the normal current. They accept the current and flow in a way that they can reach somewhere a shore. So here we see the renunciation is very tough because of going against the current. And everywhere you have to put a dam. Just obstructing the flow. No advancement. Take a diversion. Go through the divine. So these people, because they walk against the current and know every bit of the path, they see through the path, they walk through the path, and householders, they move mostly by the grace of having an attitude of self-surrender to the divine. As if they are going in a vehicle, somebody is carrying them. So they will not know exactly the small differences or the path by normally what are the pitfalls, where are they? But these people know every pitfall. The time taken is, though in life of renunciation is very short, the toughness with which they have to handle themselves and leave the world to itself is more prominent. In sannyasa life, the life of renunciation, yama is more predominant. That is yama niyama. Among the yama niyama, first two disciplines of yoga, self-control and everywhere blockage. That aspect, yama, self-control everywhere, is more predominant. For householders, niyama is most important and predominant. That takes the gauna form for householders. The yama is a gauna, is not very important, but it is needed where it tries to go beyond the limits. When in case of householders, these strict there is little like a pressure cooker. When it goes beyond the limits, it releases. Like that, there is some amount of consideration. In case of renunciation, there is no. It begins with absolute perfect discipline life. There is no bargain, there is no concession, there is no compromise. Absolute perfection it demands. And here in the household's life, small differences and tolerances are accepted. So there we see yama important in sannyasa, niyama important. Whole thing, shaucha, santosha, tapaswadhyaya, ishvara pranidhana. These are important in the householder's life. This is called dharmika jivana, one of the aspects. Though it is told in the form of yoga here, niyama, in the smritis, like Manusmriti, Parashasmriti and all, 18 smritis are there, in which they clearly mention how to walk along this path of niyama. What all the niyamas you have to follow, how you will sacrifice the day-to-day life for the welfare of the rest of the universe. You have debts to repay to the parents, to the gods, and for the living beings. All these you have to repay the debts. And here, everywhere you see your sacrifice. They renounce. Blockades. You cannot move further. Not even a single step, even by mistake. So there we see the difference. And there, because of that, they get the adhikara or power to teach others, guide others, lovingly lead them holding their hands. So here Sri Ramakrishna differentiates. Later also you see in his life, he makes two groups. One is inner circle and one is outer circle. Inner circle belongs to the renunciates. Outer circle belongs to the householders who protect these inner circle to give message of the master and make the master sit in the hearts of others. Both have the responsibility and both have the same goal, but are walking through the different paths. So the most important part is to play the role of to be an instrument in the hand of God to serve others. Young aspirants who, like Shukadeva, practice renunciation from very boyhood and think of God day and night without being involved in the worldly life. Involvement means not carrying anything inside. Unentangled means not showing raga dvesha anywhere. I move about in the world and attending to all the duties of life, but I don't carry anywhere. I am not involved. I attend, I serve people and just leave them there. I don't carry in my mind and just go on doing and offering it as a offering to divine and keep moving. Uninvolved. Wherever I go, I don't show raga dvesha, attractions and aversions, or likes and dislikes. Just pass through. So, unentangled. Sri Ramakrishna wants it uninvolved. Uninvolved in the worldly life. The worldly man always has some desire or other, though at times he shows much devotion to God. Deep within. See, we may be doing lot of sadhana, spiritual practices, but it is the innermost desire which is going to be first fulfilled. Because that is at the root. Now, even in the accounts and all, first debit is cancelled by the first credit. The law goes like that. Like that, first, whatever you sadhana you are doing, you deep within is the desire. That's why we clean from the depths of our being. Oh, I don't want, I don't need. The only thing I aspire for is for God, but I do all my duties because I have been placed here by nature, according to my past karmic load. I have placed it. Let me utilize this opportunity without getting entangled in the world and keep moving towards the goal. Whatever be my past, this sukha dukkha that comes, I accept and go on working with it and see that new karmas and new vasanas I don't acquire. So, to that extent, so innermost desire, now and then what exactly am I seeking in life? Each time a worldly desire comes up, very difficult to say no, because behind it is huge power and force of the momentum of the past lives. It is driving. So, very difficult to control it and say no. In sannyasa life, he has to say no. There is no other alternative. In householder's life, you cannot give concession at the same time. So here the conflict, inner conflicts comes. So through prayer, through singing the names and glories of God, convincing the heart and mind in different ways, through logic, understanding, the example of others, how Ravana was destroyed, was cause of his own destruction. These things, Viveka is brought into picture, and then inner desires are eliminated, showing the consequences each time. It takes long time to eliminate the deep, which are deep within and very strongly stuck. It is very difficult to discharge those desires, yet it has to be done. So that fast our spiritual evolution begins. The time is not wasted, my sadhana is not wasted. Otherwise, through that, and then another thing Holy Mother says is, don't express your enmity or dislike by any means or curse anybody, because all your spiritual efforts, sadhana, goes in expression of these dislikes and hatreds, which will go on eliminating your sadhana fruit. Love all, leave others to God, and keep walking. Except love and blessing, nothing should come in your mind at present. Till you reach God, keep everything in abeyance as it is and start walking fast. Though shows much devotion to God. Once Mathur Babu was entangled in a lawsuit. He said to me in the shrine of Kali, "Sir, please offer this flower to Divine Mother." I offered it unsuspectingly, but he firmly believed that he would attain his objective if I offered the flower. With devotion Rati's mother had. What devotion Rati's mother had? How often she used to come here and how much she served me. She was a Vaishnava. One day she noticed that I ate the food offered at Kali temple and that stopped her coming. Her devotion to God was one-sided. It is not possible to understand a person's right away. It is not possible to understand a person right away. See, here Sri Ramakrishna is giving two examples. One of Mathur Babu. He had some lawsuit and he wanted Sri Ramakrishna to offer a flower to Divine Mother. He has brought a flower offer. If he offers, his faith is that he will be able to reach whatever he wants, whatever he is seeking, he would be able to get that. And Sri Ramakrishna offered that flower. I offered it unsuspectingly. That is what he intended for. But he firmly believed that he would attain his objective if I offered the flower. Means here faith is how the faith is stable. And another example Sri Ramakrishna is giving, which is going to be shaken. What devotion Rati's mother had, he is wondering, means real devotion to God. How often she used to come here and how much she served me. Seeing Sri Ramakrishna, an humble child of God, mother, no external assumings, no fashion, no shining, no external glory, humble to the lowest rung. He is there, and that makes anybody is like the childlike attitude, simplicity, humility, all these matters. And this is a sign of an enlightened soul. How he would, Arjuna asked Krishna, how the enlightened soul will be. Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha. How does he walk? How does he talk? How does he? These signs, when any person sees, he sees that like a newborn child, he is moving about freely in this world, untouched by the world. And spontaneously, without any calculation, love and dedication flow. This is what this mother found in Sri Ramakrishna and started serving him. She was a Vaishnava. She was a Vaishnava. One day, she noticed that I ate the food offered at Kali temple, and that stopped her coming. Vaishnavas in those days did not like the Shaktas. The food offered to Shakti, Divine Mother, they would not entertain. They would not participate in the Shaivik worship or Shakta worships. And they did not partake the food offered to these deities. So, when she saw Sri Ramakrishna eating the food offered to Kali, as if he is outcast, they feel. And she stopped coming. Her devotion to God was one-sided. Why do we call it one-sided? Because it is not comprehensive. The understanding of God is only this and not that. God has various aspects. When I say God in Hinduism, when any aspect of God with name and form is identified as personal God, the impersonal always stands behind. It is in the background. Any devata we worship, whether it is Rama or Krishna or Durga or Shiva or any aspect, Saguna Sakara, with qualities, with attributes and with form, when we worship, we see always behind the Rupa, there is Swarupa. Behind the form, there is the formless. So that always will be there. That identity keeps always shining in the mind. So when that is left, the behind background in which I am seeing the Devata, I am seeing Vishnu. Navrati's mother was Vaishnava. She was seeing Vishnu, one of the aspects of God, and rejecting the other aspect of the same God. Like I have a mother. Sometimes she gets angry. Sometimes she is very calm and pleasant. Sometimes she is loving. Now, how do I react to it? Same mother, I may dislike her one aspect of getting angry or being what I don't like she is doing. And another aspect of her own I am able to love. Now the same person I am hating, same person I am. This is one-sided. One aspect. I am taking a coin and one side of the coin I am loving. The other side, it is inseparable part. So it is not complete. Sri Ramakrishna wants that complete acceptance, complete seeing, complete possible viewing. So here we see Sri Ramakrishna giving the clear understanding that your understanding of God must be always one whole, not part. When you see the part, see the whole behind always. That all the differences dissolve in spirituality and divinity. Till this one, when you see the world, see the interconnectedness of all objects in all lives, they are interconnected. And when you see God, you see the background in which you are seeing the God with name and form. The infinite, eternal, unchanging reality, the ocean of bliss, peace, love, absolute. So this is the whole of the picture that we are going to view in our lives. That is, the God always means the absolute existence. Take any aspect, it doesn't matter. It is Purna. That's why we always add Om behind every mantra. Every mantra begins with Om. Om is the absolute existence. The other aspects of nature is the remaining part of the mantra always. So here we see Sri Ramakrishna insisting on the right understanding of the spiritual life of God, of individual existence and of nature. Om Niranjanam Nityamanantarupam Bhaktanukampa Dhritavikraham Vai Ishavataram Parameshamidhyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namamaha.